I could see the boys were using quite a lot of tyre. Especially Shane was using quite a lot of tyre to get back, to bridge the gap back to James and Luke. But I sat there, bided my time. I knew my pace. Had a few front end slides on the front just to warn me and say, all right, you need to back off because this is what you've got and just take it. And I knew I could do. I think my fastest lap must have been a 48.4 or something like that. But I knew I had 48.5 and 6s. Sat there, and luckily the boys came back to me, and I got a good run on Shane and did him into the last corner, and then Luke into turn 3, and so with James, and then it just got me head down to the end. It's don't get me wrong, it's not going to be this easy every time. So we just need to keep our feet on the ground, keep working hard, just keep improving. Go away, put our heads together, and see what we're going to come back with at Snetterton.
We ended last year with 2 wins, and then we came back to a strong winter testing with the McCams Yamaha team. And went to Donington Park, led the first race, and it kind of went downhill from after that. You know, we had the tyre degradation at Donington, and then Brands Hatch got back on track and led pretty much every session, and then I made a mistake and crashed in the race, and we all know what happened from then. But yeah, it just seems like the season had potentially started off so well, and we just haven't really showed, and that's an important word here, is potential. We haven't showed it all year. I felt really comfortable in the race. I felt quite in control, but there was one particular corner where I was having to leave the door open, the one I crashed at in race 1. We looked at the data, and the front end was just really loaded into there, and I didn't want to run the risk of crashing again, so I would have been happy just finishing on the podium. So a second place is a bonus. First place potentially could have been there if I'd just pushed a bit harder and made some bigger risks, but we're not in a position to do that at the minute. We're sitting 11th in the championship. So yeah, we needed some solid points, and I wouldn't have preferred anybody else than Jake to beat me today. He's rode good all weekend, and he's just showing real strong pace at the minute, so I'm sure he's going to be a contender for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to listen to it on our mountain bike rides now. It's going to be me that all weekend now. So
it was definitely a tough weekend. You know, I was just trying to tell somebody else earlier on that I came here needing a strong weekend. You know, I won the last race before the break, and I wanted to come back and win the first one back. But last year in the dry was really, really difficult with the Panigale, and you know, we've done a lot of work since then, and I kind of thought that we could come here and be strong. You know, the objective of making the showdown, you know, picking up some podium credits has been done, but I wanted to come here and win, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, these guys rode great today, and, you know, when a bad weekend's 2/3, it's not quite so disastrous. So I'm not going to pretend I didn't have to work for them. I think that's probably the hardest I've ever had to work for 2 third places in my life. But, you know, this is BSB. If it was easy, the titles would come on the back of Frosty's packets, and I can assure you they don't. Well, they don't in my Tesco anyway, yeah.